first topic of this chapter. So let's first discuss the brief introduction. What is basically in this chapter? This chapter primarily deals with the economy, central problem of an economy, and explain the production possibility frontier along with their shapes pertaining to the subject. It highlights into introduction to economics and its branches, namely macroeconomics and microeconomics. So now let's first discuss some of the definitions which are going to use in the chapter. The first one is economy. Economy is a system which provides people with the means to work and earn a living. Second, economics. Economic is about studying economics problem arising due to limited means, having alternative uses in relation to unlimited wants. Third, economic problems. Economic problem is a problem of choice involving satisfaction of unlimited wants out of the limited resources having alternative uses. Next, scarcity. Scarcity in economics is short supply in relation to the demand. Resources of the economy are scarce, with the result that the economy can't produce all that the society needs. Now, let's discuss the most important topic of this chapter, that is the economic problem. Now, economic problem arises because of scarcity of resources in relation to demand for them. As you can see in the image which I have inserted in the slide, it shows that there are three economic problems. And why economic problems arises? Because wants are unlimited, resources are limited, and resources have alternative uses. So now in the upcoming slides we are going to discuss about each and every problem in detail. The first one is the wants are unlimited. This is a basic fact of human life that human wants are unlimited. They are not only unlimited but also grow and multiply very fast. Second, resources are limited. The resources to produce goods and services to satisfy human wants are available in limited quantities. Land, labor, capital, and enterprise are the basic sources. These resources are available in limited quantities in every economy, big or small, developed or underdeveloped, rich or poor. Some economies may have more of one or two resources but not all the resources. For example, India economy has relatively more labor but less capital and land. The USA economy has relatively more land but less labor. No economy in the world is rich in all the resources. Now, next and the last problem is the resources have alternative uses. Generally, a resource have many alternative uses. A worker can be employed in a factory, in a school, in a government office, self-employed, and so on. Like this, nearly all the resources have alternative uses. But the problem is that which resource should be put in use. So, after discussing the three problems of economic, let's discuss the differentiation between microeconomics and macroeconomics. So, the first differentiation is on the basis of meaning. Microeconomics, it studies economic problem at an individual level, whereas macroeconomics, it studies economic problems at the level of an economy as a whole. Second basis, determines. Microeconomics, it determines the output and price for an individual firm, whereas in macroeconomics it determines an aggregate output and general price level in the whole economy. Next is on the basis of tools. In macroeconomics, demand and supply are its main tool, whereas in microeconomics, aggregate demand and aggregate supply are its main tool. Last basis is on the dependence. In macroeconomics, it assumes that all the macro variables to be constant as national income, consumption, saving, etc. Whereas in macroeconomics, it assumes all the micro variables to be constant as demand of household, supply of firms, prices of individual product, etc. So guys, this was all about the differentiation between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Guys, make sure that if the question is asked on the basis of difference, you need to write the basis and need to explain it in a very clear form as I have mentioned in the slide. Now after that, let's discuss the another difference, that is the difference between positive economics and normative economics. First, on the basis of meaning, positive economics studies with what is or how the economic problems are originally solved, whereas normative economics studies with what ought or how the economic problems should be solved. Second, validity. In positive economics, it can be verified with the original data, whereas in normative economics, it cannot be verified with the original data. Third is on the basis of aim. Positive economics aim to provide original description of an economic activity, whereas normative economics aim to determine the principles. Next, suggestive. Positive economic is based on set of collected facts, whereas normative economics is based on an opinion of the individual. Last, example. The example of positive economics are price and inequalities of income level in an economy. Normative economic example are government should generate more employment opportunity. So guys, this was all about the differentiation between the positive economics and normative economics. Now the next topic is the central problem of an economy. The problem of making a choice among alternative uses of resources is known as basic or central problem of an economy. There are many central problems of an economy, but according to the syllabus, we have to do one, that is problem of allocation of resources. Every economy has limited resources which can be alternatively be used to produce different goods and services. Hence, it has to allot its available resources in the production of different goods and services in such a manner that it is ideally meet the needs of the society. While allocating resources optimally, the following central problems of an economy are required to be taken. The first one is what to produce. Second is how to produce, and the last one is for whom to produce. Now in the upcoming slide we are going to discuss about each one of the central problem in detail. So now let's first discuss about what to produce. What to produce refers to a problem in which decision regarding which goods and services should be produced is to be taken. Second, since its resources are limited, every economy has to decide what commodities are to be produced and in what quantities. Third, in view of limited resources, when we produce more of a commodity, it means we will be able to produce less of another, because more production of one commodity would force us to withdraw resources from the production of the other commodity. So, the economy has to choose between the capital goods like machines, tools, civil goods like cloth, watch, radio, consumer goods like wheat, shoes, sugar, military goods like guns, bomb, tanks, and necessities of life such as food, clothing, housing, etc., and luxury goods, that is car, color TV, etc. The guiding principle for an economy here is to allocate resources in such a way that gives maximum aggregate utility to the society. So this was all about the what to produce problem. Now the next problem is related to how to produce. How to produce refers to a problem in which decisions regarding which technique of production should be taken. Goods or services can be used in two ways: by using labor incentive techniques and by using capital incentive techniques. Under labor incentive techniques, more of labor and less of capital per unit of output is used in producing goods and services, while in capital incentive techniques, more of capital and less of labor per unit output is required. Thus, the economy has to decide whether the chosen goods and services should be produced with the help of automatic machines or handicrafts. Every method of production has its own advantages and disadvantages. For example, on one side, use of capital is that is automatic machines increases the quantity and improves the quality of production, but it results in unemployment as it requires lesser number of laborers. On the other side, handicrafts generate more employment but produce smaller amount of production. The guiding principle of an economy is such a case is to decide about the techniques of production on the basis of cost of production. Those techniques of production should be used which leads to at least possible cost per unit of commodity or service. So guys, this was all about how to produce central problem. Now the last problem that we are going to talk about is the for whom to produce. For whom to produce refers to a problem in which decisions regarding which category of people are going to consume a good, either economically poor or rich. As we know, goods and services are produced for those who can purchase them or have the capacity to buy them. Capacity to buy depends on how income is distributed among the factors of production. The higher the income, the higher will be the capacity to buy, and vice versa. So, this is a problem of distribution. Next, we know that the whole output is distributed among factors of production which have to be distributed. Since production is combined efforts of all the four factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and enterprise, it is distributed among them in the form of money, income, that is rent, wages, interest and profit. Who should get how much is thus the problem. The guiding principle is that the economy must see here that the important and urgent wants of its citizens are being satisfied to the maximum possible extent. So guys, this was all that I wanted to cover in this particular video, because if I exceed to this particular topic, then it will be very difficult for you to understand. If you have any doubt, do mention in the comment section. And now it's time for your reward question. Today's question is, explain the central problem of an economy. Guys, all you have to do is to just comment down your answer and the perfect answer will be rewarded by us. So don't waste your time guys, comment your answer right now. I will be back with another video. Till then, thank you everyone.